today.
So how you felt when I asked you to be a part of my video series?
I'm sorry, what?
How you felt when I asked you to be a part of my video series?
I thought, oh wow. I was like, it was nice. I was pleasantly surprised. I,
Thanks. Firstly, I
uh,
want to thank you for giving your valuable time to me and accepting me to talk with you.
okay.
Uh, can you introduce yourself to my audience?
Yes. Well, my name is Christine. I'm a writer. I have published 8 books. I also have 3 websites. One about writing, one about vegan food, and one about getting through burnout.
Okay, so
And
you're a writer.
I'm a writer, yes.
Okay, so Thrown Hearts is your book.
Thorn is my newest release, yes.
I think it is released in May 2020.
That's correct, yes.
So can you tell me about that?
Yeah, Thorn is a book I started writing in 2016. Um, I planned to publish it in 2017 when I finished it, but that didn't work out so well. And I had to wait another 3 years. Thornheart is about, it's a time in the future, it's 200 years in the future, and the world is basically destroyed and is now, starting a new world after all the destruction, after the apocalypse. And 2 different worlds have arisen. One of them respects nature, environment, and all sentient beings, and the other world is still set in the old destructive ways, like the way we are living today, basically. Um, and these 2 worlds, they come to a clash, and a war threatens because the world the kingdom that is stuck in the old ways wants to conquer the beautiful kingdom. And it's a lot to explain. I don't know if we have time, but it's post-apocalyptic. It's fantasy because the characters have special skills like animal speech, extreme agility, extreme speed, climbing skills, things like that. There is a love story in there between 2 people from opposite sides. There are lots of moral conflicts in there. Will they stick together? Will they do what is right for the kingdom? Um, and the book also has a message. It has a very strong message about animal rights, about human rights, and basically about looking after the world, basically to make sure that we grow a more conscientious mind about our environment.
So you created that both worlds.
I'm sorry?
You created the two worlds.
Yes, I created those 2 worlds. Yes. So it's
Okay.
mhm.
So the book is about the fight between two worlds.
It's about a new beginning after the world that we know today is absolutely destroyed.
Okay. So why you destroyed the world?
Why the world was destroyed?
Yeah, why
Um,
you destroyed the world?
why do I destroy the world? To make a better one. Well, in my book, it happens because political leaders are greedy and power hungry, and then one country, 2 countries, 2 major powers are always fighting. Well, not fighting like in a war, but like arguing and want to be better. And then one of them finally sends a bomb, destroys the other country, and this destruction causes huge tsunamis and storms, and so the rest of the world is completely obliterated. That's how it happens in my book.
Is that the act of the god, or is that the act of human?
It's an act of humans.
Okay.
Humans cause it, yes.
For the better world.
The better world comes after because humans have no choice. Everything is destroyed. There is no electricity, there's no cars, no technology, no refrigeration, there's nothing. It goes back to basics. People are no longer at the top of the food chain. Everything has changed. So throughout the years, the people that survived have to build a new and better world. And so this is where the two new kingdoms come in. One of the kingdoms builds this better world, and the other one builds the world as it used to be. And so they come to a clash.
So you took 4 years to write this book.
It took me actually 1 year to write this book, but it took me 3 years to get it published.
Yeah, I have seen the disturbance that happened for your for publishing this book. I have gone through the that, but still it is published in 2020 May, and so what you said that you published five other books. What are they?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You said you have published five other books.
Yeah, I've published 7 other books. I also have an alias, a pen name. I published under 2 names. So I published under my real name this book, Thorn, and 5 other books, and then 2 more books under a pen name.
What are they? What are those two books? Where they are published, and what is the names of the books, and what is the
My
objective of the book? Yeah.
Okay, they are very different from what I have published before, so that's why I used the pen name. One is a collection of poetry, and the other one is a collection of short stories about life in the place where I live. I live in a tourist place, so a lot of things happen here, crazy things, not so crazy things. So I wrote short stories about life here. Some are true, some are not true, and the stories. I mean, the short story collection is called Tales from Los Cabos, and the poetry collection is called Pieces from My Soul, and my pen name is Lila C. Deville,
Okay.
and they're on Amazon as well.
Nice. So when you
Mhm.
started writing,
I love writing. I cannot live without writing.
writing is your life.
It is my life, yes.
When you started writing,
I started writing when I was 6 years old. That's when I
six
wrote my
years old.
first book, yes.
What was your first book?
It's funny that you're asking. My first book is actually very similar to Thorn. When I was 6 years old, I wrote a book about 2 men who were in the jungle, and there were 2 other men that were evil. They were killing all the animals in the jungle, and these 2 men ended up saving the jungle and the animals, and they ended up saving the environment. And it's funny because when I was 6 years old, I had no idea about the pollution and everything that was happening in the world. I had no idea, but I wrote a book about it. And before I published Thornheart, I realized like, hey, this story is very similar to what I wrote when I was 6 years old. So it's funny that I ended up publishing it anyway, many, many years later, right? I'm not 6 anymore, but and it's better developed. But the story when I was 6 is very similar to Thornheart.
I want to know why you are using killing and destructive words. I think you have destructive thoughts more than constructive thoughts.
I have what?
Destructive thoughts than constructive thoughts.
No, I don't have destructive thoughts. Don't worry. No, I no, I'm a good person. I save animals. I don't want to destroy the world. Don't say that on the internet.
I'm just
No,
kidding. I know
No,
that you're trying to, you're trying to show the, you're trying to construct the new world, which
yeah, I'm
contains
trying.
the good things.
Exactly,
And to say good, you have to say the bad. I know that you're trying to,
exactly,
you're trying to show the difference.
exactly. Yes.
I
Yeah.
think you're the first author who are using these words, and at the same time who came with a new concept. I did videos with a lot of authors, but you are completely different.
Oh,
Your
thank you.
story, yeah, your book, when you started saying about the new world and the old world and the war between the worlds, I think that is completely a new concept that I'm listening from a author.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's good. Thank you.
So you are a full-time author.
I also work. I'm a teacher, and I'm also working full time on my website, which is a lot of work as well. Um, so I do everything: teaching, writing, and writing for my websites.
Okay. So you said about three books. You didn't said about the remaining books.
Okay. The other books is, well, there are several books that are a series. I started. I wrote the first book in 2011 or 12. I published it in 2012, and that one book is a historical fantasy. So it is set in the times of the French Revolution, and it's about a woman who becomes a vampire and her adventures, and the whole story. And this book turned into book number two, and then book number three, and then I wrote another book about a character from that appears in the book, and so now I have five books about historical fantasy. They're all, you can read them as standalone books, but they are a series. And I am now going to publish another book, which is also historical fantasy, and that's also based on a character that appears in one of those books. I'm working on editing right now.
So how much time you take to write a single book, and how much time you spend on observing the things? To write a book, you need inspiration, right? You'll be inspiring.
To write a book under normal circumstances, it takes me a year or 14, 15 months. But now that we're always staying at home, I have a lot more time. And now I can write a book probably in 10 months or so, or 9 months. But it depends. I would say between 9 and 12 months. That's the average time. Editing takes another 2, 3 months. Um, yeah, so like a year and a half in total.
Okay. So before writing, will you do research, or you just try? You said that this is a historical fantasy.
Well, for historical fantasy, I am a history teacher, so
Okay.
I do have. Well, no, but that doesn't mean I don't have to do research. I always research anyway. For example, if I, like maps of cities, names of streets, certain historical people, I do research all the time. It's very important to do the research. You have to get things right. So,
So how many people got affected because of your words that you wrote in your book?
how many
That real.
people? What?
How many people got affected because of the words that you have used in the recent book?
I don't know. What do you mean? How many people got affected? Like how many people read it, or
How many people felt who involved in your book?
how many people are in the book?
Involved in your
Uh,
book. I mean, who whom you made to feel your book.
I don't know if I understand the question.
I mean, how many people got affected because of your book? After reading your book,
I'm
this,
sorry. Okay,
yeah.
okay. Well, and most people that read my books, they told me they loved it, um, and some people, they even some friends have told me that they found some messages in my book which really was the purpose, the for people to see the messages I leave in my books, messages about, respect to sentient beings and things like that. So I'm always happy when friends or anyone else can find those messages because they're very, very, very subtle, but they are there. Um, so that always makes me happy. And I always, of course, I'm always happy when people tell me that they love the book, and uh, those comments always make my day.
Are you a social person?
Uh, mm, yes and no. I like to be alone. I don't mind being alone for a long time. So when we had to do social distancing, for me it wasn't a huge difference. I don't mind being alone at all because I keep myself busy all day long. I don't get bored at all. But I like to socialize. I like to go out to bars. I like to hang out with friends. I like both. So I think I'm like 50-50.
How much time you take uh, to write a book? I mean, to write a single book. That you already told that you will take 10 to 14 months for a
Yes,
single book.
yes.
So you are a teacher too. How will you manage both?
How do I manage? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it.
How do you manage both the jobs as a writer, as a teacher?
Uh, I love writing, so for me, I just sit down and start writing. Even when before we had to stay at home, I had less time to write, but I would write in the afternoons or in the weekends. And now we're going to be teaching online, so I divide my time. Certain times of the day for school, this time of the day is for my websites, and then a certain time of the day is for my books. And that's how I do it. I organize my time.
Okay, so what is the response that you are expecting from the world after releasing your book, which contains all your feelings and thoughts and your
The
collection of
response
thoughts? Yeah,
response I hope to get from Thorn.
yeah.
Oh, I hope that people will love it. People will recommend it, and I hope that people will see the message in the book. And I just hope that many people will read it. I really want to share this book with the rest of the world. So
So, without showing their image, without showing a single picture in a book, can you create impact on the person who is reading your book?
can I create a what? Sorry.
Without showing a single picture, only by using your own words, can you create impact on the person who is reading your book?
Like give you a description.
I mean, you are using your words, your own words, to create impact. I mean, you want the person who is reading your book to understand your thoughts, right?
Yeah.
So, without using a single picture, can you create impact on the person who is reading your book? Can you affect the person who is reading your book?
Um, I don't. I'm not sure how to. Um, I'm not sure if you mean like to convince him or.
I mean, I mean, you're writing, you're expressing your thoughts to impress, or you're expressing your thoughts only, you just want to express.
Okay, just express my thoughts about my book.
Okay, I'll explain you clearly. I'm telling
Okay.
you, I'm asking you that Are you expressing? Book is expression, right? Book is an expression, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So you are expressing your thoughts through your book.
My thoughts. Um, oh, that's difficult. My thoughts. Hang on one second. Hey, shh, shh. Sorry, my dog. Um, I I don't know. Shh. Um, I don't know how to answer that. I'm sorry. Hmm,
Okay. You are expressing to impress, or you are expressing because you want to express your thoughts?
my thoughts about my book.
No, no. You are expressing your thoughts through your book, right? Your book is
Yeah.
a collection of your thoughts.
Yes.
So you are expressing your thoughts to impress the person who is reading your book, or you are expressing your thoughts only because you wanted to express.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just through this book, I just want people to realize that sometimes we have to make changes in the way we live, and those changes may seem uncomfortable, but they're not really uncomfortable. We all talk about, you know, things that happen in the world, about making changes, but nobody really makes those changes. We always talk, but nobody ever does anything, or few people do something, and when people when people actively make changes, the first reaction is always ridicule and denial. And so with this book, I want to show what happens if we don't make those changes, what will happen, and that the changes that we could make are really based on humane decisions. And we have to be more open to change. We have to be more open to proactively doing something. I think that's how I would say it.
So Christina want to be the reason for the change in the world.
Yeah, something like that, yes. And even if I don't leave a desire to make a change, at least I hope they enjoy the good story. So,
Okay. So you are disturbing things which are already there in the society.
I'm sorry?
You are disturbing the things which are already there in the society with your book.
Maybe. Maybe. Yes.
Okay. So you said that you want to realize people by reading your book. So
Yes.
how many people realized uh, by reading your book?
Oh, I wouldn't know that. I don't know. The book is sold online. I have no idea. Um, so I I wouldn't know who has realized it or not. I haven't had any comments about that.
Okay, what are your thoughts while writing a book?
My thoughts while writing a book?
Yeah.
Oh, there are not. It's hard to say because when I write a book, I transport myself in the book. So I am no longer in my house, but I am there in the world that I have created, and you can't get me out of it anymore unless I stop writing.
Oh
So
my
my
gosh.
thoughts are the thoughts of the main character, basically.
How old are you?
How old I
Yeah.
am? I'm 48.
Since when you was 6 years old, now up to 48, you're writing.
Yeah, been writing for a long time.
Long time, yeah. So
Mhm.
Okay, it's a long time. You
Yes,
spend
it's
you spend a lot of time in writing.
yes, but I haven't. I only started publishing 8 years ago. I never published before. I always wrote for myself. I never had the courage to publish until I was 40.
Okay. So, speaking or writing, which one will you prefer?
Speaking or writing?
Yeah.
Writing.
But you're a speaker, right? Teaching is speaking.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I like to speak. Obviously, I'm teaching involves a lot of talking. So yeah, no, I do enjoy that. But writing is really where I can fully express myself.
So you will disconnect from the world while you're writing.
Totally. Yeah, when
Oh,
I'm writing, don't disturb me. Something bad might happen. No, no, that's not true. But when I'm writing, I'm in the world, and it's gonna be really hard to get me out of it. So
what is the place that you choose to write?
I'm sorry. What?
What is the place that you choose to sit and write?
Um, I like to sit at the kitchen table, but I also like to sit outside. So those two places. So I have a table outside, and so I can sit there too.
Okay. So there are a lot of authors who will be watching this video. So
Yeah.
what do you want? What do you want to say to them? Because you are writing since you was 6 years old.
Well, I think there are probably other authors who also started writing from a very young age. I don't really know. Um, I would say sometimes authors say they are aspiring authors because they haven't published yet, or aspiring writers. I I would never say that. I think if you write, even if you're not published, but if you're writing, you're a writer. You don't have to be published to be a writer. So don't call yourself aspiring writer. I'm sorry. You're a writer. That's what I would say. And hang in there, never give up. It's not easy, but always continue writing.
So as a human being, uh, what uh, what help you got from your writing?
What helped me? I'm sorry.
With writing, what is the change that you observed in your as a human being? What is the change that you got?
Um, well, writing really. When I write, when I finish writing, I always feel either exhilarated, but also it has a calming effect on me. If I don't write for a long time, I I feel like something is missing, and I may get a little cranky. So I think writing is what makes me complete as a human. It certainly taught me to express myself better and better over the years.
Are you introvert or extrovert?
I'm sorry.
Are you introvert or extrovert? Are
Am I
you
a robot?
introvert, introvert or extrovert?
Ah, sorry, sorry. Um, I don't think I'm extrovert, but I'm not introvert either. I I think I'm in between, if that is possible.
Ambivert.
Ambivert, yes, yeah. I mean, as I said, I like being alone. I don't mind it at all. I can be alone for weeks. I really don't care about that. But I also like to hang out with people, so I think I'm both. Yeah.
How many marks will you give to yourself as a communicator?
How many points?
How many marks will you give to yourself as a communicator?
Um, that depends. In writing, maybe a
Writing and
nine.
speaking. Speaking 9 as a writer.
As a writing nine, as speaking probably I don't know 7.5 or 8. I don't know. Sometimes, well, often it is easier for me to express my thoughts in writing
Why you still want to give 9 to yourself? Because you have spent a lot of time on writing.
because a lot of people have given me comments about my writing, like um, messages I was hiding somewhere, and they found those messages. A lot of people have commented on certain things that I really wanted them to notice, and so that's why I give myself a nine.
Okay, just now you said that writers don't need to publish their books.
Sorry.
Just now you said that writers don't need to publish their books uh, to be
Uh-huh.
called as writer or to be happy. So, what is the use of writing then? Writing is an expression, right? You're feeling relaxed or you're feeling released when you are writing.
Yeah, writing is a part of me.
Yeah, what actually, writing actually helps you to feel like released or relaxed,
Yes.
right?
It
So,
also, uh-huh.
yeah, why? And you also told that writers don't need to publish their books.
I mean, no, I mean, if you're a writer who hasn't published yet, don't call yourself an aspiring writer. You are still a writer. That's what I meant.
Okay, so on which topics you wanted to write in coming days?
Right now, I am editing because I really want to publish my newest book. So I'm working hard on getting it edited and ready for publishing. Um, I don't know yet what my next project will be. I have several manuscripts that I finished writing years ago, and I still haven't published them. So I really want to get them published. So I think that this year I'll be mostly working on editing and writing, probably on my websites, but I probably will write a few short stories.
Have you wrote a love story?
I'm sorry?
Have you wrote love story?
Uh, I don't. Well, I never wrote. I've never written a love story, but my stories usually include romance. It's fantasy with romance, or but like a pure love story. No, I haven't done that yet.
Are you a romantic person?
I can be. Yes, yes,
Okay.
I think I am.
I will read your books and I'll see whether how much intense,
Yeah.
the words are. I will
But
go through it.
I'm no romance writer. I include romance, but I'm not really like you know. I don't write the romance books. I That's a different. Um, I think that's a different style of writing. That it's
Yeah.
There's certain genres I don't know or I have never written. So
Okay. So you're more into the frictional stories and more into the historical stories.
yeah, I love history, fantasy, adventure, um, also contemporary fiction. Um, I write many different genres, but there are two genres I've never tried because I don't know if I can do them, and that's the romance genre and crime fiction. That those seem I don't know why I have never done them, but I do include them. But I've never written a book that was in that specific genre.
Okay. So at last, what do you want to say to the world?
I want to save the world.
I mean, what you want to say to the world?
Sorry, what? Why? Or
What you want to say to the world?
I'm sorry. What do I want to say to the world?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very grateful that you're doing this interview and um, and helping me to meet more people and getting the word out about my books. And I'd like to thank everybody for meeting me here and watching. And I hope you give my books a chance
Yeah.
and you leave a review.
Yeah, sure. And thank you so much for giving your time and giving answers to my questions. And can I put this video on my YouTube channel with your permission?
Sure, that'll be good.
Yeah. And you're from, you didn't said your state and your country.
I am originally from Belgium, but I live in Mexico on the Pacific side.
Okay. You're from Belgium, but you live in
Yes,
Mexico.
yes,
Okay, okay. Nice. It's nice to talk with you and it's nice to know your thoughts. I think this is one of the different videos that I did. I mean, the different thinker.
yeah. People have told me that I'm a little different.
Yeah,
Yeah, but different is good, I think.
yeah. Different is something new, and people wants to listen to different and wants to see something different.
Yes.
And I was feeling new when you said that you created a world and in which there are two worlds and the people in two worlds are fighting with each other and that is really a new concept. I don't know how you
Mhm.
got that thought.
I don't know. It was in me, and it just came out like that. That's how I write. It's just here, and I just have to pull it out. And
How many characters will be there in your Thorn
Thorn
Hearts?
Heart.
Yeah.
Well, there are two main characters, but there are many side characters. And the side characters are humans, but also some animals.
Animals. You included
Yeah,
animals too.
I included animals. Yeah, because there are people in there with animal speech, so they can communicate with them. That's why I included them.
So humans communicate with animals.
Only very few of them. Everybody has their own special talent.
So animals. So you created animals and you wanted even animals also tells to the world.
Yeah, animals have a voice in the book, and they actively participate in throughout the story. They are a part of the story. So
Okay,
mm,
nice. What is your next idea?
oh, I don't know. I was thinking about uh, different things basically. Um, I haven't thought of it yet. I started a sequel of Thornheart,
Okay.
and but I think there's a book missing, so I'm gonna the second book I wrote will be book number 3, and I'm gonna write a new second book, um, which follows up on where it ends. But I haven't really thought it through yet. So
What will be your dreams?
my dream,
Yeah.
my dream is to live off my writing and to live off my websites. Just write and live off that.
So you don't care response that you get for your books or your writing. You don't care.
Oh, yeah, I do care. Yes, I care. Of course, I do.
Okay. 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 Thank you so much again for giving your time and talking with me. Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you for the interview.
Take care and keep writing what you love and make people to uh, learn a lot of things from your books and try to change things in the world until you can.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you.